Have you ever wondered if some of the habits you've had for decades are quietly making life harder now that you're over 60? Maybe you've noticed that you don't recover quite as quickly as you used to. Maybe you have less energy. Maybe you're becoming a little more cautious about your health, your money, your relationships, or your independence. And perhaps you've caught yourself thinking, is this simply what getting older feels like? Not necessarily. Growing older is natural, but becoming increasingly dependent, isolated, unhappy, or physically limited is not something we should simply accept without question. Sometimes, the biggest problems don't begin with one dramatic event. They begin with small habits. The things we do every day, the things we tell ourselves don't matter. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to share 20 habits and life patterns that can make healthy aging after 60 more difficult, along with simple ways to think about them differently. And I want to warn you about something. The first few may seem obvious, but several of the later lessons have almost nothing to do with exercise or diet. One of them is about money, one is about your home, one is about loneliness, and one may completely change the way you think about growing older. So stay with me until the end, because the goal isn't simply to live longer. The goal is to remain capable, connected, peaceful, and independent for as long as possible. If you're over 60, or you love someone who is, welcome to After 60 Life Wisdom. Here, we talk about healthy aging, senior health, relationships, retirement, independence, and the quiet lessons that become more valuable with every passing year. If that sounds like the kind of wisdom you want in your life, subscribe to the channel and join us. And before we begin, I'd love to know something about you. What matters most to you as you get older? Staying healthy, staying independent, protecting your finances, or simply having more peace? Tell me in the comments. Just one word is enough. You never know who may read your answer and realize they're not alone. Let's begin. Number 1, don't give your future to fortune or fear. As we get older, uncertainty can feel heavier. We may think more about our health. We may wonder what the next few years will bring. We may worry about illness, money, family, or how long we'll be able to live independently. And when the future feels uncertain, it's tempting to look for someone or something that can tell us what's going to happen. But here's a more empowering way to look at it. Instead of constantly asking, what will happen to me? Ask, what can I do today to give myself a better tomorrow? You can't control everything. None of us can. But you can often control whether you move your body, how you nourish yourself, how you spend your money, who you spend time with, and how you respond to difficult situations. Those choices matter. You don't need someone to predict your future. You need to prepare for it. And that is something you can begin doing today. Number 2, don't take unnecessary physical risks. One of the biggest threats to independence after 60 isn't simply age. It's a serious fall or injury. Think about how many times you've climbed onto a chair to reach something, or stretched too far, or carried something heavy because you didn't want to bother anyone. You may have done it hundreds of times without a problem, but all it takes is one unexpected slip. A serious fall can affect your mobility, confidence, and ability to live independently. That's why healthy aging isn't about being afraid to move. It's about moving intelligently. Keep the floors clear. Remove loose rugs if they're creating a hazard. Install handrails where they're needed. Improve the lighting around stairs and walkways. And if a task is genuinely unsafe, ask for help. There is absolutely no shame in saying, I'd rather be safe than prove I can do this myself. In fact, that may be one of the wisest things you can say after 60. Number 3, don't ignore your financial future. Here's something we don't talk about enough when we discuss healthy aging. Financial health matters too. You don't need to be wealthy to have peace of mind, but having a plan for retirement, healthcare expenses, emergencies, and everyday living can make a tremendous difference. Money isn't everything, But financial stress can affect almost every part of life. It can influence where you live, what healthcare you can access, whether you can travel, whether you can help someone you love, and sometimes whether you feel you have a choice at all. That's why saving, budgeting, reviewing expenses, and understanding your financial situation are forms of self-care. Think about this for a moment. If an unexpected expense appeared tomorrow, would you feel prepared or frightened? There is no need to feel ashamed if your answer is frightened. The important thing is to start where you are. Even small improvements can create more confidence over time. Your future self deserves that peace. Number 4, don't overwork yourself. Just to prove you still can. Many people over 60 spent most of their lives working hard. They raised families, built careers, ran businesses, worked with their hands, looked after everyone else. So when retirement or later life arrives, slowing down can actually feel uncomfortable. You may think, if I stop, who am I? But your value was never measured by how exhausted you could make yourself. Your body changes with age. Recovery may take longer. Your joints may complain more loudly. Your energy may not be as predictable as it once was. Listen to those signals. That doesn't mean becoming inactive. It means becoming smarter. Choose sustainable activity. Take breaks. Alternate demanding tasks with rest, and stop feeling guilty about sitting down. After 60, rest isn't a reward you have to earn. Sometimes rest is part of staying strong. Number 5. Don't be so frugal that you forget to enjoy your life. There is a beautiful quality in people who know how to save money, but there is also a danger. Some people spend their entire lives saying, I'll enjoy it later. Later, I'll travel. Later, I'll buy something nice. Later, I'll take a day off. Later, I'll spend money on myself. Then one day, they realize that later has arrived. Being financially responsible is wise, but extreme frugality can sometimes prevent you from enjoying the life you worked so hard to build. I'm not talking about reckless spending. I'm talking about permission. Permission to enjoy a good meal, buy comfortable shoes, take a small trip, try a new hobby, visit someone you love. Spend money on an experience you'll remember. Ask yourself, what is one simple thing I could afford that would make this week a little happier? Maybe it's time to stop postponing every little joy. Number 6, don't give up your home without thinking carefully. For many people, a home is much more than a house. It's where birthdays happened, where children grew up, where difficult nights were survived, where family gathered around the table, where thousands of ordinary moments became memories. So when someone says, you should sell your house and move, they may be thinking about convenience, but you may be thinking about something much deeper. This is my life. Of course, sometimes moving is the right decision. A home can become too difficult or unsafe to maintain. Moving closer to family may be helpful. A smaller home may make everyday life easier, but don't make a major decision simply because someone else thinks it's best. Ask yourself, will this move make me safer? Will it make everyday life easier? Will I still have privacy? Will I still feel independent? And most importantly, am I choosing this or am I being pressured into it? Growing older should not mean losing your voice in decisions about your own life. Number 7, be careful with miracle health products. If you're over 60, you've probably seen advertisements promising almost everything. More energy, better memory, younger looking skin, stronger joints, better sleep, longer life, and sometimes miracle cures. The problem is that aging can make us emotionally vulnerable to those promises. When you are worried about your health, the promise of an easy solution can be incredibly tempting. So before buying another supplement, gadget, or health product, pause. Ask, do I really need this? What evidence supports the claim? Could this interfere with something I'm already taking? And when appropriate, talk to a qualified healthcare professional. Your health deserves more than clever advertising. Don't spend your hard-earned retirement money trying to buy back your youth. Invest in habits that genuinely support your well-being. Number 8, don't turn every argument with your partner into a battle. If you've been married or partnered for many years, you already know something younger couples haven't learned yet. You can love someone deeply and still drive each other crazy. You've probably argued about money, children, housework, relatives, habits, and perhaps even something as ridiculous as where to eat dinner. But later in life, there is a question worth asking before every argument. Is this really worth losing peace over? Being right can feel satisfying for 5 minutes, but resentment can last much longer. This doesn't mean ignoring serious problems. It means learning the difference between an important conversation and an unnecessary battle. Sometimes the most loving sentence is, "Let's talk about this when we're both calmer." After decades together, companionship is precious, protected. And if you still have someone beside you after all these years, don't assume they'll always be there. Number 9, don't remarry simply because you're afraid of being alone. Loneliness is painful. And after losing a spouse or living alone for many years, the desire for companionship can become very strong. That's completely understandable. But loneliness can sometimes make us rush toward a decision that deserves patience. Remarriage later in life can be wonderful, but it can also bring complicated questions about finances, property, adult children, living arrangements, family expectations, and different lifestyles. So ask yourself honestly, do I want to marry this person, or do I simply not want to be alone? Those are two very different questions. There are many ways to create meaningful connection: friendships, travel groups, hobbies, volunteering, community activities, time with grandchildren, and of course, a loving relationship if that is what you genuinely want. Don't let loneliness make a permanent decision for you. Choose from love and clarity, not fear. Number 10, don't assume needing more care means you've lost your independence. This is one of the most sensitive subjects in healthy aging. Some people eventually need professional care. For some, living in a residential care setting may be the safest and most appropriate option. For others, support at home may make it possible to remain in a familiar environment. There is no single answer for everyone. The important question is, what environment allows this person to be safest while preserving as much dignity, connection, and independence as possible? That might mean modifying the home, hiring appropriate in-home support, sharing responsibilities among family members, using community services, or choosing professional residential care. And if someone does move into a care facility, please remember, they still need family. They still need conversation. They still need affection. They still need to feel remembered. Care is not only about medication and meals. Sometimes the most important medicine is knowing someone still cares about me. Number 11, accept that some friendships will change after retirement. Retirement can be surprisingly emotional. For years, you may have spent more time with coworkers than with almost anyone else. You shared deadlines, lunches, problems, successes, inside jokes. Then retirement comes, and suddenly everyone goes in a different direction. At first you may think, why aren't they calling anymore? But don't automatically interpret distance as rejection. Life changes. People move, priorities change, health changes, families need attention. Some friendships belong to a particular season of life. That doesn't make them less meaningful. So instead of desperately trying to recreate the past, ask, who do I want beside me in this chapter? Make room for new people. Learn something new. Join a community. Talk to your neighbors. Reconnect with someone you've lost touch with. Retirement isn't the end of your social life. It can be the beginning of a different one. Number 12, when you don't understand something, give yourself until tomorrow. One of the most underrated benefits of getting older is learning that you don't have to react immediately. When something confusing happens, we often feel pressure to solve it right away. A difficult message, a family disagreement, a financial decision, a medical question, a stressful conversation. But sometimes your first reaction is not your best reaction. If you don't understand something, pause. Sleep on it. Write down your questions. Talk to someone you trust. Give your emotions time to settle. Tomorrow may not magically solve the problem, but you may see it differently. And sometimes clarity arrives when we stop chasing it. There is wisdom in saying, I don't know yet. You don't need every answer tonight. Number 13, don't flaunt your wealth. Money can be a sensitive subject, especially within families. You may be proud of what you've built, and you have every right to be. But constantly talking about your savings, purchases, property, investments, or expensive experiences can unintentionally create tension. People may compare themselves to you. They may feel jealous. They may misunderstand your intentions. And sometimes, money can quietly change the way family members treat one another. You don't need to hide your success. Just don't make it the center of every conversation. As we get older, we often realize that peace is more valuable than impressing people. Protect your privacy, protect your relationships, and remember, your wealth should make your life more peaceful, not your relationships more complicated. Number 14, don't underestimate your neighbors. We often think of family as our safety net. But what happens when your family lives far away? That's when a good neighbor can become incredibly important. A neighbor may notice that your lights haven't been turned on. They may see that you haven't collected your mail. They may help after a fall. They may bring groceries. Or they may simply knock on the door and say, I haven't seen you today. Are you okay? That little sentence can mean everything. So don't wait for an emergency to meet the people around you. Say hello, learn their names. Offer a helping hand, share a cup of coffee, build trust slowly. Healthy aging isn't only about taking care of your body, it's also about creating a community around you. Number 15, don't ignore lighting and safety around your home. Here's one of the simplest healthy aging tips you'll ever hear. Turn on the light. It sounds almost too obvious, but as vision and balance change with age, poor lighting can turn ordinary movements into unnecessary hazards. Make sure stairs are well lit. Keep pathways clear. Use night lights. Turn on outdoor lighting when you're walking outside after dark. Keep a flashlight somewhere easy to reach. These aren't signs that you're becoming old. They're signs that you're thinking ahead. The goal is not to make your world smaller. The goal is to make it safer so you can continue enjoying it. Sometimes independence is protected by the smallest decisions. Number 16, stop comparing your life to other people's lives. This may be one of the hardest habits to break. You look at someone else and think, they're healthier, they have more money, their children live nearby, they travel more, they look younger, their retirement seems perfect. But you are comparing your real life to the part of their life you can see. You don't know their private struggles. You don't know what they worry about at night. You don't know what they sacrificed. You don't know their regrets. So stop using someone else's life as a measuring stick for your own. Instead, ask, am I living better than I was before? Maybe you're calmer. Maybe you're wiser. Maybe you're kinder. Maybe you've learned to appreciate simple things. Those are victories too. Your life doesn't have to look impressive. It has to feel meaningful to you. Number 17, don't eat until you're uncomfortably full. Food is one of life's great pleasures, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying it. But after 60, mindful eating becomes especially important. Our bodies change, our energy needs may change, digestion may become more sensitive, and eating too much can leave us feeling sluggish and uncomfortable. So slow down. Pay attention to your body's signals. Choose nourishing foods most of the time. Enjoy your favorite foods without turning every meal into an indulgence. And if your health allows it, a gentle walk after a meal can be a pleasant way to stay active. Healthy eating after 60 isn't about punishment, it's about nourishment. The goal isn't to eat as little as possible. It's to give your body what it needs without constantly asking it to handle more than it wants. Number 18, be mindful of excess salt, unhealthy fats, and sugary drinks. As we age, nutrition becomes more than a question of appearance. It's about supporting the body you want to keep using. Eating patterns that are consistently high in sodium, unhealthy fats, and added sugars may work against overall health, particularly for people managing certain medical conditions. So focus on the basics. More vegetables, a variety of whole and minimally processed foods, appropriate portions, enough fluids, and fewer sugary drinks and heavily processed foods. You don't need to become obsessed with your diet. You don't have to give up every food you love. Think about balance. A healthy lifestyle is built from what you do most of the time, not from one perfect meal. And if you have a medical condition or specific dietary needs, get personalized guidance from your healthcare professional. Number 19, don't let anger steal the years you still have. There are things in life that hurt deeply. A betrayal, a divorce, a financial mistake, the loss of someone you love, a difficult child, a health problem, a dream that never happened. You may have every reason to be angry, but here's the difficult question. How much more of your life do you want to give to that anger? Letting go doesn't mean saying what happened was okay. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. Sometimes letting go simply means deciding, I'm not carrying this everywhere I go anymore. Take a walk. Talk to someone. Write down what you're feeling. Spend time in nature. Reconnect with people who make you feel alive. Practice prayer or meditation if it helps you. And if sadness, anxiety, anger, or loneliness become overwhelming, don't be afraid to seek professional support. You don't have to carry everything alone. Your emotional well-being matters just as much as your physical health. Number 20, don't stop moving, just move wisely. And finally, one of the most important habits for healthy aging, keep moving. Not because you need to look young, not because you need to compete with your younger self, and certainly not because you need to punish yourself. Move because movement helps you participate in life. Walking, swimming, gentle strength exercises, balance training, stretching, yoga, tai chi, gardening, dancing. Even regular household activities can keep you engaged with your surroundings. The right exercise depends on your health and abilities, so choose activities that are appropriate and safe for you. But whatever you choose, consistency matters. Think about what you want to be able to do 5 or 10 years from now. Get out of a chair without struggling. Walk through a park, carry your groceries, travel with your family, play with your grandchildren. Take care of your garden. Cook your own meals, put on your shoes, open your front door and go wherever you want. That's what independence really means. Not looking young, being able to participate in your own life. The real secret to healthy aging after 60. If you've stayed with me through all 20 habits, thank you. But I want to leave you with something more important than a list. Growing older isn't something you need to apologize for. Your wrinkles aren't failures. Your slower pace isn't failure. Asking for help isn't failure. Changing your priorities isn't failure. Your life has changed because you have lived. And now you have the opportunity to decide what deserves your attention in this next chapter. Maybe you need to take better care of your body. Maybe you need to become more careful with your money. Maybe you need to repair a relationship. Maybe you need to stop comparing yourself to someone else. Maybe you need to forgive. Maybe you simply need to give yourself permission to enjoy your life. You don't have to change everything tomorrow. Start with one thing, one walk, one healthier meal, one phone call, one conversation, one decision you've been postponing, one habit you finally decide to leave behind. And now, I want to ask you something. Which of these 20 lessons spoke to you the most? Was it protecting your independence? Taking better care of your health? Being wiser with money? Letting go of anger? Or simply learning to enjoy life while you still can? Tell me the number in the comments, and if you feel comfortable, tell me why. Your story could help another person in this community. And if you found this video useful, subscribe to After 60 Life Wisdom. We are building a community for people who believe that getting older isn't the end of the story. It's another chapter. A chapter that can still contain friendship, love, laughter, purpose, adventure, peace, and yes, even new beginnings. So don't spend all your remaining years worrying about the years you've already lost. Look at the years in front of you. Take care of your body. Protect your peace. Stay connected. Keep learning. Keep moving. And keep giving yourself reasons to wake up tomorrow with something to look forward to. Because the goal of healthy aging isn't simply to add more years to your life. It's to add more life to your years. If you believe that, leave a comment saying, "My best chapter is still ahead," and I'll see you in the next video here on After 60 Life Wisdom. Take good care of yourself.